My name is Murphy, and on May 4th, I was diagnosed unexpectedly I went to the doctor thinking I had a circulation problem in my legs, and it came out that I have autoimmune cirrhosis and a tumor on my liver. So no, chemotherapy was not an option because of the cirrhosis. Radiation is not an option. My option was a liver transplant. And my world turned upside down. My dad was a preacher, so I know about the power of prayer. And I know that it works. But many times in my life, I failed miserably in my faith. The doctor said, okay, I met with the hepatologist, Presbyterian St. Luke, and he said, we need to get a CT scan in 3 months and see how large the tumor has grown. And that's when we will put you on the liver transplant list, and you get points, and that's where you will end up depending on the size of the tumor. It was a long 3 months. And I got a CT scan done. And now, you get a message that says you have a test result, which is a blessing and a curse, because it's kind of hard to be an internet doctor when you're Googling all those terms and reports. But this report came back to me that said, no suspicious hepatic mass. I called the doctor, and he returned my call at 10 o'clock at night. He said, is it too late to call you? And I said, no. He said, I understand you have some questions about the scan that shows nothing. I said, is that possible? And then I thought, well, that's stupid. You know it's possible. He said, I've already called the radiologist and asked him to take a second look. He said, radiologists don't usually know what they're looking for, but he knows what he's looking for and he doesn't see it. But let's don't get too excited. Let's do an MRI. So we did an MRI that took forever to get scheduled, but that showed no mass. The liver transplant team says we still want to do an evaluation, so we went through that. They called me on Thursday. I didn't expect to hear from them until today. The second CT scan shows no mass. On Thursday, she said, this is a good phone call for me to make because it looks like the tumor has resolved itself. Okay, I'll go with that. We need to monitor the cirrhosis every 3 months with some lab work and all of that. She said, there's a good chance we'll never see you. And I said, don't take it personally, but I hope you're right. I came here, Mary. I work for Mary's husband. I've known Ed for 25 years. I came here, and the first night, someone said to me, I feel like you have some things in your heart that you need to open up and let go. The second person said, I'm getting the word to let go. The third person said, I think you're afraid and you don't need to be afraid. Deacon Brian said to me, I think there's somebody you need to forgive. I was like, you're right. Because in the middle of all of this, I've been going through a divorce. Who said, this is your issue to deal with, and I need to look after my best interests. That hurt a lot. And when he said you need to forgive, for a couple days I just walked around and said, I forgive you, I forgive you. And my brother said, but did you mean it? I said, I thought if I said it long enough, I would. He's been forgiven. He didn't ask for it, but he's got it. And when I got the news, thought, why did I get this miracle? And I don't know why. But I need you to help me pray to what God has left for me for the rest of my days. And I have shared my story with people that I work with. And since that time, people have come to me and said, will you have your prayer people pray for this? Will you have them pray for me? And I've said yes. So people do believe the power of prayer, and it is real. And I'm very thankful and grateful, and I accept this miracle.
You get a hug.
That was a lot of work.
Yes.